happy Saturday. I really hope you enjoyed my first guest on Wednesday, Bethan Barnard. It was so lovely to talk to her. She's so talented. So today is Saturday and I promised you something really amazing. On Thursday, I did my very first interview with Kerry Ellis. So it was brilliant. Take a look. There's so much to talk about. So I just want to ask you where it all began for you. What started it off? Have you got any performing inspirations? What?
Yeah. I guess I was just a local kid. Went to a local dance school, local drama dance school in a church hall. Nothing glamorous. None of my family were theatrical or musicians or anything. And I just went that's how it started for me. And I was in like local pantomimes and stuff like that. And then I kind of got the bug and wanted to go to drama school. So auditioned for a couple, only got into one. And and I was lucky enough to be supported by the council, and I got a grant, and my parents kind of let me go. So it was amazing.
Yeah. Fab. And I know you've played lots of different roles, but this is a strange question. If the roles were reversed and you had the opportunity to play a male role in any musical or film, what would it be and why?
Yeah, it's a good one. I think it might have to be something like Jean Valjean in Les Mis, because it's such an amazing journey. He has incredible songs. The show is built all around him, and it's just such a great role to play. And I watched John Owen Jones play it for about a year, and he was just phenomenal. And I love the show anyway, but he's kind of that central character that knits it all together. And yeah, probably him.
And it's one of those parts, I think, like you tend to have in lots of shows, you have a part and it's primarily this kind of a part, whereas Jean Valjean, I think, goes on such a journey. He plays almost so many characters within a character.
Yeah, he does, and he has relationships with everybody in the show, which I love. Yeah. So that's always interesting if you're playing a lead, to have all those different dynamics and different characters to play with.
Yeah, it's interesting, amazing. And quite a few of your like concerts and stuff. Who is your favourite duetting partner?
Well, it's tricky because there's been so many, and also duetting with somebody in a show is very different to duetting with somebody in a concert. Obviously, Brian and I have worked together, Brian May from Queen, we've worked together a lot, and duetting with him, collaborating with him, I'd say is very special. We've been doing that for a long, long time, and we seem to work very well together on stage. I guess people like Louise Dearman, Diane Pilkington, Ollie Thompson, all those kind of people that I've worked with a lot are just incredible, and I work really well with them. It's great to be on stage with your friends because you feel supported, and you feel it's like a safety blanket when you're with somebody that you trust a lot. It makes it enjoyable.
Yeah, I always feel like it takes that pressure off a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. You're covered. You've got your mate there with you, and they've got and that's so important when you're because you're vulnerable when you're performing. It's a very, you bare your soul, and it is live. You a lot of the time have no control over it, so you have to feel comfortable and trust the people around you.
Yeah, and so talking about collaborating with Brian May, if there was anyone else that you could collaborate with, whether it be musical, pop, rock, who would it be?
Oh, there's so many. I mean, I love Celine Dion. She's an idol to me. I just adore her, and I have seen her a couple of times live, and she just is mind-blowing. Someone like Beyonce, that's just so powerful and so confident, and
oh my gosh,
and so charismatic, and it's but then I love Pink, I love Lady Gaga, I love real strong women have something to say, and I think to duet with somebody like that would just, I think although I'd just be like that.
Yeah, you'd just be stood there the whole time. Oh, it was me, it's my turn.
Yeah,
And this is one of these questions again. Any roles that you played before, well, not before your training, but before you've had so much life experience that you would like to revisit now? Are there any roles like that?
That's a really good one. I think, although I'm too old to do it now, I think playing Eliza Doolittle when I was like 19 or 20 or something, and I was the right age to play it, but I was too young to appreciate it. Right. And I would love to play that again now. Again, because of the journey of it, and she has such a great storyline and some amazing songs, and it would be just a lot of fun to play. When I did Wicked back in 2007, I opened the show, and I was the first kind of English girl to play the role. And I was, how old was I? I think I was late 20s. And then I went back in about 5 or 6 years later, and I appreciated it so much more going in. Even though it was 5 years, I just loved, I understood it so much more. I had a completely different outlook on it, and it was just, it was amazing. So, and also maybe we were cute because we had so much fun in it. I wouldn't want to wear them shorts again. I did have a lot of fun playing it, so yeah, maybe that too.
Brilliant. Well, we just touched a little bit on Wicked. Some of the children in my theatre company have sent in some questions. Hello, guys. So the first one is from Jemima. Jemima is 9, and she wants to know, she's seen Wicked, and she wants to know, how did you prepare for the role of Elphaba?
Oh, I don't think anything prepares you for the role of Elphaba until you do it. It's one of those roles that's incredibly difficult but incredibly rewarding. It takes over your life. It's physically, emotionally, vocally draining, but it's like running a marathon every day. And once you get up to that kind of show fitness, and you get you kind of sing it all in and you're ready to play it, it's so rewarding. And it's great at the end of the show that you feel exhausted and that you just have nothing left. And that's how, for me, that's how I want to feel at the end of every show. I like that.
Yeah. Another question from one of my children. This is from Bethany. She says, who has been your favourite person to work with? So we've kind of covered it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's people like Diane and Ollie, and that you spend a lot of time with and do quite difficult shows with, are amazing, and they've become friends for life. And I mean, I knew both of them before Wicked, but they were amazing, and we really did have a great rapport, the three of us. But yeah, it's always great to work with your mates. It really is, and I'm fortunate to have worked with lots of friends. But then I do love that about theatre, that whenever you walk into a show, you're generally meeting 30, 40, 50 new people, and you become really close really quickly.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. I feel like I have a massive network of friends across the world, and that's all down to theatre.
Yeah, theatre's a great thing. I say this to the children all the time. You know, I've met lots of my greatest friends through it, and they do too, and it's really nice to be able to do that. It's a really good network. It's kind of like the family that you'd pick.
It is. It's an unconventional family, isn't it?
Yeah.
Always people slot into those roles as well. You know, the parents and the kids and the brothers and sisters and the nephews. It kind of, everyone slots in. It's great.
Yeah. Have you ever considered taking on a directorial role? So ever considered being a director for stage, screen?
Not as yet. I mean, I know a lot of people do come to it, and they do, it's a natural progression for some people. I think because I'm very much still in it, and I very much still love being on stage, I feel that I kind of am gearing towards a career. You know, somebody like Imelda Staunton that has just grown throughout her career and played some incredible roles, and just keeps picking them up and moving into different casting brackets. And I kind of feel that I'm going to stay on this side of the screen, but who knows? Maybe it'll come to me eventually. At the moment, I don't have the drive for it.
No.
I don't have the eye for it, I don't think. I mean, I can kind of set up my own shows, like my concerts, but to worry about everybody else, the responsibility, I think, is what it is.
Yeah. Do you have any favourite lines or lyrics from a show or a song that have stuck with you?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a really good question.
I'm good at this, aren't I?
I haven't been asked that before, which is rare. I've been asked most things. I always say "No One But You" is very personal to me, because it was such a moment in time, singing that song, and I've gone on to sing that song all over the world, and it's very personal. But I think I Dreamed a Dream was quite special, because it was the first musical I ever saw, and it was part of the reason why I wanted to get into theatre, and because I fell in love with Les Miserables, and I think that song, and when I went on to actually get the role and sing that song, it was quite special, and I'd sung the song a million times in concerts before, and then to actually sing it in the show was quite poignant and special. Lyric-wise, things do stay. They do kind of, they really do stay with you. It's amazing how you can kind of relate to lyrics at that point of time, so you can kind of put a bit of yourself into the show, and I think that's important.
Yeah, fab.
Good.
So I've got one that's kind of like a little bit away from career-wise. So to relax and unwind, what is it that you do?
Well, not a lot at the moment. I love yoga.
Me too.
I love yoga. I love any yoga, really. And I've got an amazing place where I live, called the Yoga Shed, which is like my little sanctuary. I just am a little bit obsessed with it, and it, especially in the last year, I've found like I've never used to meditate or anything like that before, but going into a class of yoga and having that bit of meditation at the end, I find incredibly useful, and it seems to like almost reset my brain every day. And if I go, I come out feeling like on top of the world, and I kind of annoy everybody by going, "Oh, I feel so amazing, and life is good, and it's sunshine," and like that annoying positive person. When I've done yoga, I'm that annoying positive person. So I think that has been a big thing in my life, and trying to do that at the moment is really difficult, because obviously I'm in a house, I have my kids and my husband and my dog, and trying to get that time now to have that moment to yourself is really difficult, and you've not got a dog kind of,
trying to join in.
Yeah, when you're, laying on your back, or so it's quite challenging. Yeah, that's my thing.
And summer is fast approaching. What is your favourite refreshment?
Oh, that's good. I love a gin and tonic, but I share that with the kids. I love ice cream. I love food. I'm a big foodie. I love when you get into summer, you start eating like fresh salads and fruit, and I like that kind of change in seasonal food.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love ice cream? Yeah.
And what would you say is your proudest moment in your career?
Oh, that's good as well. There's endless. I mean, there's so many. I mean, the first time I was on the West End, the first time I was on Broadway, my first album, the Festival of Remembrance, Verona, Wicked, all the other musicals. There's so many, and I think because I'm just in such a competitive, crazy career that we're in, I think that I'm just grateful, and I'm very appreciative of all the things that I've done. So even the little things, the very small one-woman shows, when I play sometimes to 100 people in a very intimate setting, I'm just grateful to be there and that people are still coming to see me. So I think, it's tough to choose one.
And what to the children, so the children that I teach, I work with, and everyone else out there, what would be your biggest advice to them following a career, or even just a hobby in musicals, in theatre in general?
I think the reason we go into theatre, or the reason we start singing or performing, is because we enjoy it. And I think don't ever lose sight of the enjoyment. I think when you start thinking of it as a career, and we take it quite seriously, and we get quite involved with whether you get something or whether you don't, and the backlash of not, it can be quite negative sometimes, and the competitiveness, it can be quite hard.
Yeah.
And I think you've always got to go back to the reason we do it, and we usually sing because we love singing, or we act because we love acting, and I think it always go back to finding that enjoyment, and that will keep you going and spur you on, and just enjoy it. It's that simple, you know. It's a brilliant career, and it's a very specific, privileged career, if you like. And if you are in it, you know, enjoy every second, because it's amazing.
Yeah. And have you got a favourite theatre or auditorium that you've performed at?
I've got a few. You might gather I'm really indecisive. Drury Lane is special. I love Drury Lane, and the Palladium. I did my first big one-woman show at the Palladium, and that's always a special venue. And I never get tired of the Albert Hall. And again, I'm very fortunate to have played there lots, and it's just a very special place. So
Easter is fast approaching. What chocolate egg would you like the Easter Bunny to bring you?
I'm a very basic dairy milk, chocolate buttons, very simple, very old school. They're my favourite, and I love it when you put them in the fridge and then you bring them out and you crack.
And it goes. Is that?
I love eggs, although I can't have chocolate in my house, because if it's in my house,
it's gone.
Oh, so quickly.
Yeah.
So
our house is exactly the same.
I can't. Yeah, I love a bit of a chocolate egg. Yeah, and I'm excited. I like Easter. Easter's fun.
It is, yeah. I think it's always like, you know, it's the start of summer now. It's kind of like it starts getting warmer. You start getting the longer nights. You're able to sit out in the garden with your blanket. Oh, I love it. Me too.
Yeah, good. It is really good.
And last question is, I know we're all a little bit on hold at the moment. Nobody knows what's happening. But what is in the pipeline for you? What have you got coming up?
Well, I did have a lot of stuff, and it's been quite stressful, and it's really interesting, because in this industry we're so used to being prepared for show closes, for, you know, not getting jobs, having those downtimes.
Yeah.
I think the difficulty with this moment is that it came very sudden, so no one was ready for it, and you couldn't plan anything, and also there's no end date, and I think that's quite difficult for performers and entertainers. But however, I think it's an incredible time to use it to learn new songs, learn new monologues, watch a ton of old musicals, watch new musicals, you know, get on the internet, find your favourite people and Google them and see what they're up to, and see what they're singing and what they're, you know, in at the moment, because we often don't have that time, the luxury of time. So I think it's a moment that we all can use. And for me, I had a little album that I had out. I made this album that I was only going to let people have at my live shows. I wasn't going to put it online. I wasn't going to put it on any social networks. It was literally going to be a hard copy that people could buy at my shows. And then obviously the virus hit, and all of my shows got moved, and I put it on my website, and it has gone mental. I've still not put it on digitally, and I probably won't, but it's been really nice to kind of reach out and share this project that I was really passionate and proud of, and to be able to give people something to smile at while this craziness is going. And the response has been lovely. So I've decided to do a little live on Saturday, which I'm terrified about. But I'm going live on my Insta at 6 this Saturday.
Amazing.
I'm going to sing a few songs, tell a few stories, you know, interact a little bit, which I'm really nervous about. And then hopefully we'll get out of quarantine, and I'll be able to go do some jobs. I'm going to go to Japan and do some concerts that were meant to happen in March. I've got one in Milan. I've got some in Belfast. I've got some booked in for 2021, some Queen shows. So there's lots going on, which is great. and in the future, which is kind of positive and keeps me going. So, and hopefully I'll get back in the studio with Brian. We started before the virus hit as well, so hopefully we'll get back in when all this is gone and everyone can get out.
Yeah, I've said to a couple of people that I've already interviewed, I said, although it's a little bit, stressful is the word, because you had all these things planned and now they're not cancelled, they're just on hold, and that's a weird feeling, but it's almost the break that you would never give yourself.
That's exactly it. And also we're always, as actors, we're always looking for the next job. We're always planning for the future. And suddenly, when your future is taken away, it's quite daunting. And there's been a lot of anxiety through, people that I know that are really successful. Everybody's feeling that anxiety. But what is nice about it is the community, and that everybody has been interacting and communicating with each other and reaching out, and there's lots of projects going on that people are trying to keep people active and involved, and I think it's kind of good, and it's making people kind of just stop for a minute, which isn't the worst thing. No,
and that's what I thought when I thought about doing this. I know, like, obviously we were just about to do a show literally a week away from it, so we were all a bit, oh gosh, and all the children obviously now are not in school, not interacting with anyone, and I just thought, what would be the best thing to do to simply just make people smile? And I think that is no mean feat, actually.
I think you're right, and it makes us think out of the box. It makes us, think of, we can't put shows on, we can't put lessons on, we can't do workshops, so we have to think outside the box. And I love that there are people all over the world doing it, and there's mega stars doing it.
Huge.
Armo is doing these duet things.
I know, they're brilliant.
These little, mini concerts, and it's just amazing. I see Pink kind of singing every few days, and it's just like, oh my God, these people are feeling it too, and I think that's so brilliant. People can hope. I
think that's the thing as well. I think it makes particularly children realise that we're actually all very similar. I think sometimes you can look at these really big stars, like you say, like Pink, Gary Barlow, all these people, and you think that their life is so much different to your own. And I think the children really aspire to be like them. But actually, it's really nice to show them that we are really, when something like this happens, we're all the same.
We're all the same. We're all same anxiety, the same worries.
Oh, I really, really thank you so much for this interview. I've loved it. It's been fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank
it's
you.
nice to see another face.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing, isn't it? You're like, I love my family, but I don't want to. I've seen too much of you today.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank
you. Bye. I really hope you enjoyed watching that interview as much as I did filming it. She was a joy. I've already filmed my next guest, the amazing, the wonderful Karrie. Make sure you join us on Wednesday at 5 o'clock to watch my interview with Peter. And make sure you like and subscribe. Have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.